analysis shows that that's where most workers' raises are going to. So instead of them getting
Right.
an increase in their hourly wage or their salary, that money goes to just covering their healthcare costs. I've now written 9 articles in the medical literature that show that companies that distinguish themselves in terms of building a culture of health, safety, and well-being outperform in the stock market. And in fact, my last article, I actually ran a mutual fund for a decade. And I'll say, sadly, it only had one investor in the mutual fund, me. Um, but I took my own money and using some of the research that we learned at HealthNEXT and only public domain information, I built a portfolio of best practice companies in this culture of health, safety, and well-being movement, and it outperformed the S&P 500 by 20% over that
Wow.
10-year period. So
Wow.
you can look CEOs and CFOs in the eyes now and say that a culture of health, safety, and well-being is worth 2% increased market cap compounded annually, which is a very big number. And it gets you away, Vinny, from the return on investment for a diabetes program.
Well, every dollar spent on insurance is a dollar that flies out the door,
Yeah, no question. No question.
and there's no
Not to
there,
mention, this is a very important kicker, and that is that for every dollar, and I frame this often with a dear CEO, dear CEO, for every dollar that you spend on healthcare costs, you're losing $2 to $3 of performance in your workforce.
right.
And this analysis has been pretty well cultivated in the literature. So, you know, a healthy worker is more engaged. They engage in more discretionary effort because they're well enough to do so. A healthy worker is not absent very often. A healthy worker is less likely to get injured at work. They're less likely to go on disability. And when you look, they're much less likely to leave you if you have a culture of health, safety, and well-being because you engender a caring spirit and loyalty. And so all these things add up. And that's the reason why these companies outperform in the stock market.